Today I'm going to show you how to make some Pennsylvania Dutch style sticky buns. For the topping for the sticky buns, I have 1 cup brown sugar, I have a cup of corn syrup, and 1 stick of butter. I'm just lightly melting this in the saucepan. Okay, my topping's ready. I'm going to pour it in a round, non-greased baking pan. And just remember that it's going to actually get that caramel type texture after it bakes in the oven. For my topping, I'm going to mix in some pecans. You can also use walnuts, raisins, or nothing at all. I like that chewy pecan flavor, so I'm going to put in lots and lots of pecans. I'm going to set this aside. It's going to cool down a little bit, and I'm going to get my dough out and actually start rolling it out to prepare it for its filling. Okay, so I got my dough rolled out here into a rectangle, and I'm going to take some melted butter. I want to be very careful that this butter is not hot, that I should be able to touch it without being burned. Because if I put hot butter on this bread or this dough, I'm going to kill the yeast before it gets a chance to rise. So I'm just going to pour this over top of the bread. Then I'm going to take a teaspoon of cinnamon and about a tablespoon of sugar. I don't want to make the inside too sweet because the topping is really what's going to give us the sweetness for this pastry. I'm just going to kind of swirl this around. It can get a little messy. This is a great recipe to make ahead of time if you have overnight visitors, because you can let it rise overnight in the fridge, and then in the morning the smell of cinnamon buns or sticky buns is just wonderful. Okay, so now I'm going to start rolling up my dough. Now, instead of using a knife to cut your sticky buns, it's better to use a piece of string. The knife tends to squash down the sticky bun before you even get through it, and then you don't have the nice little swirl pattern. So I like to take a piece of thread, I'll slide it underneath, and then I crisscross it. And that's what's going to give me the nice uniform pieces, and I can go right through this roll fairly quickly. You'll see how I get a nice swirled effect. So now I'm just going to lay these on top of my pecan caramelized topping here. Look how pretty this is. Okay, so I've let the sticky buns rise for approximately 45 minutes, and you can see they're about double in size. So I'm going to stick it in the 375-degree oven, and it takes about 25 minutes for these to cook. We want them to be nice and golden brown on the top. Of course, we don't want them to burn. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick them in and wait for some yummies. Okay, so I got these out of the oven, and they cooked for about 20 minutes. And look at them, they're nice and golden brown. And then I am going to grab this and flip it over, and you are going to see what kind of treat this is. Let it fall out. Oh my. If you could smell this, it is so... look at that. And of course I'm going to have to steal one of the pecans. Once you've had fresh, hot, sticky buns, you will never go back to store-bought. This is good.